almost 10 years ago today, I made a decision that single-handedly messed up pretty much everything in my life at the time, took almost everything that I liked away, but pretty much led me to the place where I'm at today, helping business owners scale all over the country and helping people with this YouTube channel break limiting beliefs. So I'm going to tell you that story right now. So 10 years ago, I was just 19 years old in college. I was in a fraternity. I'm not going to say which one, but I was having the time of my life thinking that I had reached a certain level of success that I maybe didn't have in high school, right? I had, it wasn't like I didn't have friends in high school, but in college, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but the boy had sauce, right? Okay, I had friends in pretty much the entire school. It was a low D2 school, so it was almost a D1 school. So it was like 25,000 students there. And, at the time I was in relationships with some people who some girls I never thought I would be talking to, at least at the time, right? Didn't have that confidence yet. And I was very much in this place of where I felt like I had made it. And part of that life was I used to drink pretty much from Thursday through Sunday, if not more, right? And if you guys are in college and you understand the lifestyle, then you know maybe exactly what that's like or what it's like to keep drinking and to be through that. But I literally would barely go to class, did not go to school for the reasons I was supposed to go to school, barely go to class, would manage to put together like $10 to $15 throughout the week so I could have the $10 party pack, right? I was a total scrub, right? And so one day, as always, I'm turning up, minding my own business, and some friends of mine say, hey, you want to do this stuff called acid? And I was like, yeah, sounds great, right? I was very open to things, right? Maybe maybe you guys can learn from my mistakes, or maybe you're like me, right? And so the first time I did this, it was actually, and I don't mean to do this to be pro what I'm talking about, but it was like one of the best times of my life. Like I stayed up all night watching the movie Avatar with the blue people, right? And I felt as though I had understood the world in a way that I genuinely would never not understand it after that day. And so this led me to lower my resistance and skepticism towards these things, right? And I mean, long story short, nothing happened, right? I had a great day, thought it was crazy, thought it was the best thing, thought I was invincible. And I continued about my merry life. Now, fast forward the next year, I go to do it again, same amount. And that's not like this is the second time I ever did it, right? Except for this time, there becomes a moment where I'm sitting on my bed and I'm trying to like if any of you guys have ever done this, you know where I'm going. I'm going through this thing where it's starting to peak, it's starting to kick in, right? And I'm sitting on my bed, and at the time I had a Japanese flag over my light, right? So it was making my whole room red, right? I've always been a big weeb, see the Naruto tattoo, right? But like I had this room thing, it was making my room red, right? So I literally was starting to see the color red. The song Brain Cells by Chance the Rapper, if you don't know the song, it's a banger, but in this particular situation, probably not the best choice, right? Because the hook goes, I burn too many brain cells down to be worried about my brain cells now. Ninja, he says a different word, but and it'd be crazy if I get demonetized for that. But anyway, I start hearing this song, the people in my room talking, the color red, are all becoming the same sensation. And I decided to myself, the own internal dialogue to me, right? You are going to have to just pass out. Everybody in your room will understand. They're not going to judge you. They know you're in your room. So just pass out, go to sleep, right? So then see a whole bunch of crazy dreams, man. Crazy stuff. Like I'm seeing like wild stuff, thinking I know the meaning of life, whatever, right? At the end of the dream, I look to my right in the dream, and I see my fraternity brother. And I look to the left in my dream, and I see a nurse. And I look down, and then suddenly, I realize that I am actually for real in the hospital. And this is exactly what the experience was like for me. Was in my room, don't know what happened, saw a bunch of emotions, colors, things, woke up in a hospital, right? So what happened? Well, it turns out I never actually went to sleep. And while I was dreaming, my physical body was out here doing a whole bunch of stuff that got me in a hospital, right? And I'm going to say the details, but what happened after that is even worse, right? I ended up getting suspended from my fraternity, losing my financial aid, getting evicted from the apartment because there was a situation with drugs, and having to become a college dropout, lose all the people I'm talking to, lose my entire life at the time, and have to start back at square one. And I come from a town where a lot of people go off for a little bit and they come back, right? And so I just basically failed hardcore over one single decision that I didn't really even remember necessarily the things that happened in between. Okay, so why did I name this video, You Can't Change Yesterday's Paper? Well, because when I had this situation, I had two very important choices, like two options. Right? I could either use this setback in my life to declare myself a failure and declare this lack of completing college, of being able to continue in my fraternity, of losing the situationships I was in at the time, of having to get on probation, of losing my financial aid, of getting all of these things. If I had declared myself to be a failure in that moment and that I would be one forever, and I had spent the rest of my days asking myself, why? Why did this happen to me? Why did I take that substance that day? Why is it that when I took the substance one time, nothing happened, but the second time, my whole life got messed up? Why is it that they didn't show leniency? Why isn't that nobody helped me out in a different way? Like, if I had spent my life trying to fix yesterday's newspaper or the things that already happened, and how many of you guys watching this video, maybe you do that right now? Maybe there's something that you're still holding on to that didn't go your way. Maybe there's something that you wish went somewhere else, and you literally have been spending maybe months, weeks, years, decades upset that situation didn't go your way. Guess what? You still have time. You still have time. And in fact, if you don't stop focusing on the thing, you're going to miss out all the time you have left in order to change tomorrow's headline. Right? Because the things we do today end up becoming the results we talk about tomorrow. And so it's not to focus on where we want to go. It's not to focus on how big the mountain is, right? It's just, what are we going to do today? How are we going to move the needle forward today? So that way you cannot have that life. Look, I could have said, hey, I'm chopped. But what I did say is that, you know what? This is going to probably just be my training arc. This is probably just a part in the movie where every main character goes through the trials and tribulations right before they come back and they snap to their next level. I said this. I didn't even know what those words meant. I didn't even know what manifesting was. I didn't even know how to attract another lifestyle. I just said these words. And in an instant, I decided to change the headline that would be written tomorrow. It's 10 years later. I'm serving business owners. I work on my own schedule. I have amazing clients who are getting amazing results. I'm making this YouTube channel. Everything I wanted, I already have. And the things that I want now are already on their way. Peace, love, and prosperity. If you guys want to work with me directly, you can check that out below. Love.